Hello, creepies. So if you clicked on this video, you obviously care about my top 5 Stephen King books. I want a disclaimer, I am not an expert on Stephen King. I've seen more movies than read books, and I've only read like 15 to 20 books maybe out of like the 80, and that's just under his name without the pen name, so that is what it is. Sorry if this isn't perfect. I am not a makeup artist. I just wanted to do some Pennywise. And if my opinion is different than yours, that's okay. You'll be alright, I'll be alright. It is what it is. Number 5, The Mist. Okay, that might sound weird if you've only seen the movie or the TV show, which I want to say the TV show and the book are nothing alike, okay? If you've only seen the movie and the TV show, you can even tell they're different. The movies are definitely a lot more loyal. But it's a small novella between like 120 to 160 pages, somewhere in that mix. And it's perfectly small, and the environment is creepy. Number 4. So every time people think of Stephen King, they think about the horror, the blood, the gore, the clowns. But this book isn't horror at all. Stephen King actually writes a lot of books that have nothing to do with spooky stuff. And number 4 is Joyland. Okay, so this is supposed to be like a mystery book. I think that's miscategorized would probably be the right word. This is more of like a coming to age stuff that just happens to have mystery and people happen to die in it. But it makes me feel, or it made me kind of think of those movies you like that are based in the 70s or 80s, even if they're not filmed then, of just people coming up because he decides to work at a theme park for a summer and crazy crap happens and he grows from it. Number 3. So, a lot of people have the opinion only Stephen King classics are the only things he wrote that are good. Well, let me tell you, in my opinion, you are wrong. No, I haven't read every classic, and no, I haven't read every new book. But there is a new book that I really enjoyed this year. And at the time of me recording this, it's the newest one. So Stephen King likes to write novellas occasionally because he don't know how to stop writing and not everything can be over 1,000 pages. And that is If It Bleeds. This is a newer book, and it composes of 4 novellas. From what I understand, these novellas were never released. These were made just for the book. One of them's called If It Bleeds. It's like double the length of the other one, so it kind of feels out of place. But I guess he just didn't want to release them separately, so he put them together. I have a tie of my favorite. There are 4, but the 2 I really love is Rat and Harrigan's Phone. But since these are small novellas, I don't want to go too much into it. 2. So I just made a case of Stephen King's new books, and not everything has to be one of his classics to be considered a good book. And this one's actually a classic. It is one of the first books he written, and it's the first book of Stephen King I ever read. I have nostalgia for the movie. I don't know if that influences this opinion, but for a long time, I considered it my favorite, and I just love this book so much. Carrie. And when I say I have nostalgia for the movie, I mean the 1970 version, not the like 2000 and then 2016, 17, 15, somewhere around that. Not those 2. Those can go away. And I do not hate the Carrie Rage sequel, but if you like the movie, the book is different. Yes, it's a very similar story, but it's told in interviews and newspaper articles, and it's just a different format, and I enjoy it. Number 1. So, if you're here, you probably think number 1 has to be It because she's dressed like a clown. What else could it be? Well, I do like the It movies, particularly It Part 1 of the new one. That's my favorite of the 3 that are out. But no, It is not my favorite. And if you want a controversial opinion topped in this ranking list, I don't like the book It. I just don't. I tried twice and I DNF'd it both times. I don't like it. It's too bloated. So if that's not it. What is number 1? And let me just say, before I tell you number 1, out of all the Stephen King books that I've read, I don't like the chunky ones so far. And by chunky, I mean over like 500 or 600 pages. There might be a couple that might hit 500 that I like, but definitely not over 600 pages. The ones I've read that are that big just seems like Stephen King has a very bad editor and just lets him bloat out the books. But this is a chunky boy I like. The only chunky boy I like. This is a newer Stephen King book, but it's not like new, but it's definitely after the 2000s. I think it came out in 2011, so that might have given it away. 11/22/63. You have time travel, conspiracy theories based off real conspiracy theories. You got some historical fiction in there. Actually, a lot of historical fiction in there. You got the crazy old guy. You have some romance. And everything feels intentional. Nothing, in my opinion, feels like bloat. I love it. And so far, it's really different than what other stuff Stephen King has written. And boy, I could not get enough of this book. And this knocked Carrie out from the top. So guys, if you like this, comment, subscribe, let me know. And tell me what your favorite Stephen King book is. And if you're like me, and it isn't your favorite, tell me that too. But hey, I'll see you next time.